What's going on, guys? T-Mart here, and today we've got something very exciting to talk about in Pokemon Go. It looks like there are some new code references that have been discovered that are alluding to a variety of new features that could be coming to the game soon. And some of these little code strings and little hidden files have been found recently with the most recent patch updates. Others have been around since the game came out, but people are just now finally starting to talk about them. And credit to all this information goes to the good people over on the Silver Road subreddit. But anyway, there are three main topics when it comes to this information. Number one are hints to trading. Number two is hints to catching legendary Pokemon. And then number three is that there could be new incense types coming to the game. So let's go through in that order and talk about what we've seen. So in terms of trading, obviously this is a big deal. Everybody wants to see trading come to Pokemon Go. Well, there are three little strings of code that people have found that kind of hint towards this becoming a reality. So number one is there's a function called trade_search. So obviously that's some sort of feature where you're going to be able to search for the available trades that are currently up. There's also trade_offer and trade_response. So that's when you offer somebody else a trade and then they can respond and say yes or no, I want to do this trade or I don't want to do this trade. And then finally, there's one called trade_result, which is obviously some sort of reporting feature. Maybe it goes into your journal or, some sort of log that shows what happened in that trade, who got what in exchange for what. So obviously this would be really, really big. Niantic has always said that trading was kind of on the agenda and they wanted to do it, but obviously that's a pretty intense feature and they've had a lot of other stuff on their plate currently, so hopefully we see trading come out sometime soon. Now, next up, we've got some stuff alluding to catching legendary Pokemon in this game. So if you guys don't know, there already are legendary Pokemon in the game. Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno, Mew, Mewtwo, they're all in the code of the game. They're just hidden, you can't see them yet, and their catch rate is currently 0, so they will not spawn in the wild. A lot of people are trying to figure out, how are we going to catch these Pokemon? How's it going to work? Are they going to have these big events where you go to it and, the people have to fight them, or what's going to happen here? Well, it looks like something's been added in that could be kind of pointing us in the right direction. So normally, before, all there used to be was there's a string of code that said activity_catch_Pokemon, and now people have found another string of code in the game that's been added in called activity_catch_legend_Pokemon. So obviously that's got something to do with the legendary Pokemon. You're going to be catching them in some way. Is it the normal way that we've always been used to, or are you going to have to get a Master Ball, which has also been found in the code before, or what's going to happen there? We're not sure, but it looks like they are going to be catchable, which is pretty exciting. And then finally, last but not least, we may have some new incense types coming to Pokemon Go. So right now, you pop an incense, it lasts for 30 minutes, and I think it's every 5 minutes if you stand still, and then if you're moving around, it'll happen a little bit sooner than that, maybe like 3.5 minutes, something like that. You'll have a Pokemon spawn in. And right now, it's just kind of random. For me, typically, the Pokemon are not that great. I see a lot of Weedles, a lot of Pidgeys, a lot of Caterpies, a lot of Rattatas. Sometimes I'll get something like a Growlithe or, something a little bit more rare, but typically it's pretty lackluster when it comes to this. Well, it looks like we're going to have more kind of customization when it comes to our instances. There are 3 new instances that have been found. There's one item incense spicy. There's also item incense cool, and then item incense floral. So this is kind of interesting, and we've got to look at those adjectives, spicy, cool, and floral. I'm thinking, and a lot of other people on Reddit and stuff have said, that spicy is probably going to be fire Pokemon. Obviously, you think about fire, you think about hot, you think about spicy. So maybe a spicy incense is going to attract only fire Pokemon, which would be kind of cool. The cool incense is easier to assume. Obviously, that's going to be either water or ice because those are both cool. And then finally, floral is pretty easy as well. That's going to be kind of like, grass type, maybe bug type, stuff that you'd find in gardens and forests and stuff like that. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they did this. It's a money play for them. You know what I mean? Like, people pay money to buy Pokeballs, to buy incenses, to buy lucky eggs. So if there are more incenses to be able to buy, and you had that kind of, influence to say, hey, I'm guaranteed a fire Pokemon, more people are going to spend more money, and that would be a smart business move for them. And I think it'd be kind of cool to be able to attract a certain specific type of Pokemon and hopefully help you complete that Pokedex quicker. So there you guys have it. Hope you guys enjoyed all 3 of those little things there. Trading, catching legendaries, and new instance types. I'm pretty excited about. I hope this ends up being true. I hope it's not just random code in the game that never comes to fruition, and I hope it comes out sometime soon. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff on Niantic's plate right now. I think so far they've done a darn good job, and I think they've really really stepped it up when it comes to communicating with us and keeping us up to date with what's going on. Obviously, I think the biggest thing right now that I'd like them to fix is the tracker system. I think most people would agree with me on that. But all three of these things would be welcomed additions to the game as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thumbs up if you guys enjoyed. And what do you guys say? I bring you guys another hunting episode tomorrow. You guys want to go poke hunting? Leave a thumbs up if you guys like that video tomorrow. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.